Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are here for a much requested video. This is going to be my Sinking Funds 101 video, basically explaining what sinking funds are, how to get them set up, how to organize them, and then I'll give you guys some examples of like how they work and everything like that. So you guys see me use sinking funds in our budget. They have been a game changer for our budget. I'm personally completely obsessed with sinking funds myself. I just think that they are awesome. They provide a great sense of security for our family, and they help us pay for unexpected or expected expenses without it being a huge hit to our budget, which is huge for us. So to get started, I wanted to first explain where my stickers are from. So these stickers up here are from Sara Marie Stickers, just some leftover budget kits I had for my 8.5 by 11 deluxe monthly. I now use the 7 by 9, so I've just got an ERIN CONDREN 8.5 by 11 notebook in front of me that I'm writing my notes in and stuff. And then these little stickers here are from ERIN CONDREN. They're just the transparent dots, so I just thought I'd share that. Now, as far as sinking funds, the best way to define them for me, they are basically mini savings accounts. That's the best way to explain them in my personal opinion. So a good example that you commonly probably hear is, or if you haven't heard already, is Christmas. Christmas comes once a year, same day every year, and you set a budget with your family for Christmas. Ideally. So for our family, what we try to do is we try to give $200 per person in our family for Christmas. We don't really do gifts for like friends and family members outside of like our immediate family unit. That's just kind of like a normal thing for my family and for my husband's family. It's usually just about the kids, honestly. Sometimes we do like White Elephant, which is like a Christmas game, things like that to give the adults Christmas gifts. But we're not really buying gifts for like 20 people or anything like that. It's just kind of always been that way. It's just been about the kids. So yeah, we budget $200 per person in our family for Christmas. And right now we're a family of 3. So that would be $600 for the year. Next year, Julia will be here for Christmas, but she'll be like 2 months old. So we'll probably get her like something little, but it's not going to be anything like super significant like that. And what you do is, so you know that you need $600, for example, by Christmas, by December. So that gives you 12 months to save up for Christmas. Well, if you divide 600 by 12, you would know, okay, I need to save $50 per month to have $600 by December. So you would simply set aside that $50 per month in an account of some sort, and I'll go over the ways in which you can save your sinking funds momentarily, but you would set aside $50 a month from that month's income to put in an envelope, to put in a savings account, whatever it may be. And then by the time December rolls around, you would have that $600 ready to go to pay for Christmas. The nice thing that I personally really like is buying Christmas gifts like early. So taking advantage of the sales and things like that to get like certain things my husband may want or certain things Maddie may want. If I find that they're on sale, then I'll just go ahead and pick them up at that time. So that's really nice. So they're mini savings accounts, and then they can be unexpected expenses, and they can be expected. So what I mean by that is, so Christmas is an expected expense, right? You know that that's coming up in December every year, same day every year. That's expected. Your car insurance. I know my car insurance for our family personally, is due quarterly on the 15th of every month. So our next car insurance bill is due on September 15th. After that, it's December 15th, and then March 15th, and so on and so forth. That's an expected expense. Unexpected expenses are things like clothing. For me personally, I have needed to get some maternity clothes to just be more comfortable and things like that. Those expenses were like expected in a way, but a lot of them were unexpected. Like, I would need to get like a size up in this, that, or the other, or whatever. Or Maddie, her feet, I swear, go through these like crazy growth spurts. And sometimes she needs shoes way before we had planned on getting her new shoes and things like that. So there's clothing, there's car maintenance. So an oil change would be expected, but as you may have experienced in your life, I know we certainly have, we go in for an oil change and, oh, we need an air filter, and oh, we need to get this flushed, or oh, we need to replace this part, and all that kind of stuff. So those are unexpected types of expenses. So basically, in a nutshell, they can have a due date, but they also don't necessarily have a due date. So it covers like pretty much all of that. So what are some common categories for sinking funds? Some common categories are Christmas. We talked about that one already. Car maintenance. House maintenance. Clothing. And then let's see, what would another one be? Maybe subscriptions, like, once a year you pay your Amazon Prime membership. Or for us, we have, like an athletic journal type of thing that my husband is subscribed to, or we pay for a workout app annually. I know I use Headspace for meditation, and I pay that annually. I pay for PicMonkey annually to create my thumbnails for YouTube. So subscriptions would be another one, that comes up like once a year, that you have to pay once a year and all that kind of stuff. Car repairs, car tags is another one. So those are common categories for sinking funds. Now we have a lot, and I will go through those in just a moment with you guys, but I wanted to go over the different like saving methods and types of ways that you can like house your sinking funds, or like, okay, I'm taking out $50 a month for Christmas, but where am I putting this? So there's a couple options. You can take it out in cash, which is what we do. You can use an electronic savings account. And there's a couple ways you could do this. You could do it with your bank. They've also got like Capital One 360 is a really popular one, where you can open up multiple, savings accounts, things like that. We used to do electronic, and we just did one savings account with our bank, and we would just put like all of our sinking fund money in this one account. The problem with that was that you can only make so many transactions out of a savings account with our bank. Now, this is not the case for Capital One 360, but with our bank, you can only do, I think it's 6 transactions in 1 month, and then you're charged a fee, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion. But also, we choose cash because for me personally, when I have a large amount of money in a bank account, it's just too tempting for me to spend it on other things, for me personally. So I like to use cash because for me, when the cash is put in the envelope, it's like kind of out of sight, out of mind. We keep it in a safe in our house, nice and secure, out of my line of vision. And I literally forget that it's there until I actually need it. Like if Maddie needs a new pair of shoes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can check her sinking fund and see how much we have in there and go get her some shoes. So that's why we prefer cash. And you can do either way. Capital One 360, I've heard a lot of good things about. I did, for a very brief moment in time, have accounts with Capital One 360. The one thing I did not like about Capital One 360 was that it took like 3 days to transfer the money from the savings account with Capital One to Chase, which is our current bank. I don't know why it took so long. I know you can get a checking account with Capital One too, but I wanted to be with a bank where I can like go in, take cash out for our cash envelopes. Like, I don't want to have tons of accounts with different banks. I like having just one bank and keeping it simple that way. So that didn't last for very long at all. But yeah. And then of course you can do both. You can do cash for some, electronic savings for other ones. I know, like, if you, for example, have your car insurance bill and you want to just have the money like in your account ready to go and don't want to take out the cash for it, you can do that. Like, if you pay it electronically, for a lot of these places, like, you do pay electronic. So like for car insurance and things like that. So you can do a combination of both. And I'll show you guys how we have ours set up. Okay, so this is my little Filofax organizer, and this is where we keep all of our sinking funds. So if you open this guy up, you'll see we've got envelopes. These are all from Mama's Got a Budget. I do have her Etsy shop linked down below, and I also have this Filofax organizer linked down below. But you'll see these are all of our sinking funds. And you guys, we did not start out having this many sinking funds. And here's the thing too. So we are currently in like debt payoff mode. Well, I shouldn't say that. We're currently in stork mode because we are going to have a baby here in like 5 weeks. So we are currently just saving money and not putting extra to debt. But the one thing you have to be kind of careful about, and even us, and this is something we've talked about, is like putting too much money in your sinking funds and then not putting enough towards your other financial goals like debt. So that's something that we are definitely going to evaluate once we get through maternity leave. Like, if there's certain sinking funds that we need to put less in or some that we need to skip just so that we can pay off debt as quickly as possible. We are so close to being debt free. So we want to just get it done and knock it out as soon as possible. But right now we have like a ton of sinking funds. Not all of them are super necessary, but we've got accountant because I technically have a small like business with YouTube and stuff. So I definitely don't want to just use TurboTax this year. I want to go to a professional who can help me, you know, with all of that kind of stuff. So we have accountant to pay for that once tax season comes up. We have our anniversary date night, and you'll see in here we have cash for all of these. So anniversary date night, obviously this pays for us to go on dates for a wedding anniversary, things like that. We have back to school, beauty, which covers haircuts for the whole family. It also covers my eyelash extensions. It covers pedicures. I usually like to take my daughter once a month to go get a pedicure. It covers eyebrow wax, all that kind of stuff. And then also makeup and, you know, things like that. So beauty, birthdays and gifts, car insurance, car maintenance, car tags, Christmas, clothing for my husband. And I got this idea from Sara Marie here on YouTube. I thought it was genius. We used to just have one clothing envelope, but then inevitably someone would be like, oh, there's $200 in there. I need like a ton of stuff. And then all of a sudden there would be like nothing in there. So we have it per person in our household. So we have one for my husband. We have one for Miss Julia, which we probably won't start funding hers until after I go back to work. And then we've got one for Maddie and one for myself. And then we have diapers and wipes, family pictures. We have been really bad. We haven't gotten family pictures in like 2 years. So I really want to get that done this upcoming year after Julia's here and everything. And then golf for my husband. He likes to go and just like play putt-putt and swing his clubs. I don't know what he does, but we have a golf fund for him, so he can go do that. And then holidays, that's Halloween, Easter, things like that. House maintenance, this pays for our yard work and then anything random we might need around the house. medical, dental, and vision, subscriptions, summer activities. That's something that we'll probably do next year. And I'm thinking this will pay for like camp, if we put our kids in camp or anything like that. If we decide to like get pool passes, anything like of that nature. And then technology, that pays for like new cell phones, new TV, new computer, that sort of stuff. And then we've got vacation. So those are all the sinking funds we currently have, and that's our current setup and system that we use. I did want to show you guys like an example of a calculation. So I know we talked about Christmas already, so I'm kind of thinking, let's talk about car insurance, and I'll give you guys a real life example. So for us, we pay about we pay $480 quarterly, which is 4 times per year. Now, if you divide the 480 by 3, so divide it, let's see, divide by 3, then you get $160 per month. And that is what we currently save in our car insurance. So right now I have, let's look at car insurance. I've been saving for a couple months now, and I've got 50, 100, 150, 200, 220, 240, 260, 280, 290, 300, 310, and 320 in there. So I've saved for 2 months, and then in September, when our bill is due, I'll be putting another 160 towards that. So if you add 160 to 320, you'll get the 480. So that's how that works. So that's car insurance. Say you want to put a vacation, and you want to have $1,200 for your trip that you're planning. You would divide that by 12, and you would get $100 per month that you need to save. So that's another example of vacation. Now let's say you have a subscription. Amazon Prime is due in 3 months, okay? So Amazon Prime is due in November. So you've got September, October, November to save for it. And I don't remember the exact price of it, but let's say it's $120 for annual subscription. And it's due in November. I don't know what I was doing there. Subscription. I have a pregnancy brain. I can totally blame it on that, right? Okay. So you've got 3 months. So you're going to divide the 120 by the 3 months. That means you're going to need to save $40 per month. So you see like how this adds up and all that kind of stuff. Now clothing for us, we don't have like an exact amount. We just kind of give ourselves like, the one thing you can do is you can look at your past year of spending and say, okay, on average we spent, $300 to $400 on clothes for the year, per person or whatever it is. That might be outrageous. Maybe that sounds like not enough. Every family is different, but for us, we like to give ourselves each $30 per month for clothes. So that's $360 per year, and that usually more than covers it for us. So there's certain funds that you're gonna not know like the exact amount, and you kind of have to decide yourself like what you think is going to be a reasonable amount for you and everything. Like maybe for clothes you want to give yourself $60 a month, maybe you want to give yourself $15 a month. Like there's tons of different, you know, equations and calculations out there that you can use, but that's pretty much it. So hopefully those little calculation examples helped just to kind of, you know, figure out how to come up with the amounts of what you're saving per month and everything. So, oh, and I just realized too, for this one, that could be divided by 4 and it would be $120 per month. But anyways, so, or no, it would be every 3 months because it's 4 times a year. So I did that right. Okay. So let's move on right over here where I've got a little mini example set up of sinking funds and a transaction log. Now these stickers are from Sara Marie Stickers. I have her shop link down below, but I wanted to show you guys, like, I post my video of setting up our sinking funds and everything like that. So if you've seen that before and you want to skip this part, feel free. But I thought it would be helpful just to kind of show how I set it up and everything. So for categories, I gave myself 5 spaces. So let's go ahead and do Christmas. We'll do clothing. And I'll just leave that as just like an overall clothing account. And then we'll do car repairs. Let's do vacation. And let's do birthdays. And let's say that our beginning balance for Christmas was $100. Our beginning balance for clothing was $200. These amounts don't really matter. I'm totally making all this up. We have $500 in our car repairs. We have $700 in our vacation, and we've got like $50 in our birthdays. So that would be a total of $1,550 that we're starting with, right? Because 700, yeah, okay. And let's say we're just gonna add $100 to Christmas. We're going to add $50 to clothing. We'll add $100 to car repairs. Vacation will add $100, and birthdays will add another $50. So that would be $400 total that we're adding to our sinking funds. Now for this deductions column, you're going to get that number from this transaction log down here and your ending balance. So let's say on August 25th, you spent $63 on clothing because you wanted to get swimsuits for the family or something like that. And let's say on the 25th, you also got your oil change and it was $130. And this was for car repairs. And then let's say on the 27th, you spent another $12 on clothing for socks. Seriously, just like making this up as I go. And then on the 28th, you spent another $25 on clothing, and you got some shoes to go with your socks. And then on the 30th, it was someone's birthday, and you spent $30 on a birthday gift. And we'll say it was Uncle Bob's birthday. Okay, so what you would do is you would add up. So for Christmas, as you can see, we didn't spend anything. So there were no deductions from Christmas, which means since we started with $100, we added $100, we took nothing out, our ending balance should be $200. Now clothing, we had a couple transactions. So we had $250. We started with 200, added 50, so 250 there. Then we had 3 transactions totaling $100. So we would deduct 100, and that means we have an ending balance of 150, right? Because 63, 75, 100, and then 250 minus 100, yeah. Car repairs, we started with 500, we added 100, so we'd have 600, minus 130 would be 470. So we subtract 130, and we would have 470 left in that account. For vacation, we didn't have any transactions at all, so we would put 0, and we would start with 700, add 100, so that means we have 800 in that account. And then lastly, we've got birthdays. So we started with 50, added 50, so we've got 100 to work with, and we had 1 transaction down here for $30. So that means we'd have $70 remaining in that account. So then you can total everything up. So we got 100, 230, 260 taken out for the month. And then this is not going to be as quick and easy. I don't even know where my calculator is. Okay, gonna have to bust out the calculator on this one. So we have an ending balance of 200, 150, 470, 800, and 70. So we should have an ending balance of $1,690 in our sinking funds. And what you can do is, if you have like an electronic savings account, you can double check, make sure that that amount equals what's in your savings account, obviously. Now we used very simple numbers just for easy math sake and everything like that, but that's essentially, you know, how you would track your transactions and figure out, like, you know, your sinking funds balances at the end of the month and everything. So yeah, so that is pretty much my sinking funds 101 video. I hope that you guys found this helpful. I tried to keep it as organized and everything as I possibly could, and I tried to like rack my brain on what else I could possibly talk about for sinking funds, but I think I covered everything. If you guys have other questions though, of course, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Again, sinking funds have made a huge, huge, huge difference in our life, in our budget. It just makes it, again, it adds so much security, and it makes it like more simple for us. I don't know if that makes sense, but I personally love it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to catch all my future videos. And again, I've got all of ERIN CONDREN's products, all the stickers I use, everything's always linked in the description box, so definitely check that out. And check out my latest like sinking funds video. I just posted last Saturday. Yeah, this past Saturday. By the time you guys are seeing this video, I did our cash sinking funds. I stuffed them for the 4th week of August. So you guys can check out that video if you kind of want to see this kind of stuff in action and all that. But other than that, you guys, that's it. I will chat with y'all later. Bye.